Hello, church. It's wonderful to be able to spend some time encouraging you once again. And I've been asked to spend some time talking about how we should be acknowledging God. And it's a little bit of an interesting time for me as I think about acknowledging God in the midst of something that seems to be so out of control. Something that we have we can't wrap our hands around it. We can't fix it. We can't solve it. So how do you acknowledge God in something that you have absolutely no control over? And I think in that saying, that is exactly how we are meant to acknowledge God, by throwing up our hands and going, you know what, God, I can't do this. I can't, it's not my will. It's not my desire to be in the way I am now. I want my normal. I want my sense of being in my daily routine of whatever that is. But when we're forced to stop, to sit and to listen and to be quiet and be still, well, that's when we really begin to see the distractions of our lives fade away and spend that time acknowledging God. So here I sit on my deck in the rain with trees behind me and the wind and cars whipping by. And I think, yeah, it's not really the wilderness because, there's a building right behind me, but it's not the normal for me to sit on my deck. And because of that, it's my wilderness. And I think of David, and I think of Christ as well. David, where did you find him throughout his life? So often he would be out in the field or in the wilderness. And so many of his psalms that he wrote were written in the presence of the Almighty, in his creation. And I think of Christ as well. And so many times in the stories that we hear from the Gospels that Christ is out early in the morning or off alone in God's creation. So how do I acknowledge God through this time? Well, first, I acknowledge that I'm not the one in control here. And that gives me such a sense of peace, knowing that it's not me that makes these things happen, but it's God who has everybody in the palm of his hand and the perfect plan for all of us. And secondly, we acknowledge God by looking around and seeing his creation. I saw someone post on Facebook today, we always talk about when it snows or when it's sunny, but why do we never talk about when it rains? Well, here I am sitting in the rain, and it's beautiful. It makes where we live the place that is so beautiful because God has designed it the way to be. So I acknowledge God in my life through the still small voice, through those moments of rest and those moments of letting go of control. And I hope that as you take the time throughout this week to acknowledge God, that you would find ways that you could do that as well, whether in creation or in rest or in giving up control. Have a wonderful week, church. And I, again, long to see your faces. See you later.